What's going on, everybody? We have had a full day of playing 9th edition 40k and thinking about our new AOS reveals, so let's get into it. I'm going to kind of go through some of the things I don't particularly like about it. I want to hear what you don't like about it in the comments, and of course what you like as well. So first off, a lot of cool stuff. The animation, super fun. I love all these animations. Right off the bat, a lot of people are saying Warhammer Plus, it's not going to have enough content to be worth any kind of monthly subscription. But we're all big fans of these universes, the Warhammer, Fantasy, Age of Sigmar, the 40k, Necromunda, Blood Bowl. Imagine a Blood Bowl show. I think a lot of us are going to check it out because we do want to see the characters we like doing stuff on Warhammer Plus. And, if it's only a few bucks a month, we'll check it out for at least a month. But let's get into AOS 3. So, right off the bat, I originally planned on probably buying 2 of this new Dominion box set. Because I was thinking it was going to have a bunch of models I wanted to double up on. And after seeing it, I have no real plan of buying 2 unless, something changes. But if you look at it, especially from this view, it's a lot of infantry. It's just infantry hordes for both sides. Stormcast more elite. Kruleboyz got the goblins, so they get quite a bit more models. And then you get 2 sort of centerpiece models. Now, I don't know if you're going to duplicate these 2 in an army, so I don't know if you need 2 for that reason. But also, I kind of have this goal or dream. I want to do kind of themed armies for AOS. And infantry horde is not one of them. I really want to do some more like low model count cavalry type armies because I've been having so much fun with the Sons of Behemoth that I'm interested in other low model count armies. So this box does not do it for me. I'll probably get 1, probably trade the Kruleboyz for double Stormcast, and then hold on to the Stormcast to see if I can add them to some of my older Stormcast. Maybe get some dragons. They're supposed to have flying cavalry coming. So, it's just not... I don't see much reason buying multiple of these unless you want a whole bunch of these orcs and goblins, which is fine. I mean, that's definitely an army build, I'm sure. But these seem more generic, right? Your generic spearmen on both sides, I guess. You get a couple elite. Is this unit actually a unit of 3? Or is the full kit going to be 5 and there's missing 2 special weapons? And this is like one of those understrength units we got in AOS that they did with Sigmar. Pretty lame if it is. And then the halberd guys, they're going to be sort of your stand next to a hero and pass on wounds to them most likely. Which generally those models don't see a lot of play unless you have a really powerful hero like a Lord Croak or something. I don't care too much about this box set outside of I definitely want to get 1, and I may trade the Kruleboyz for double Stormcast. Now, if this had, say, 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders or Kruleboy Wolf Riders, whatever his mount is, and maybe 2 flying Drake flying cav for the Stormcast, I would buy 2 of these for sure. Hot tip. Buy them on the first day, they're going to sell out. Okay, so she's super cool. She's actually really small. She's just normal Stormcast size. I thought she was going to be big, but when you scroll back up here, she's actually quite a bit smaller than the Kruleboy orc on his beast. The stairs help her look bigger, but she's pretty small. I thought she was going to be kind of that larger than life size, but she's just normal Stormcast size with some big wings on some stairs. Great model, though. I love the head options. That's great. Both the helmeted and the heads look really good. He's got, like, the Griffhound cloak, which is sweet. He's got the pet. They're doing a lot of pets in this edition, I guess. And he's a great-looking Stormcast. New armor looks great. Great model. She's super cool. She has this crazy, like, wizard mask. I don't know. I love that. It's so creepy. Great model. Great for conversion possibilities for 40k. And another great Stormcast character. The banners, super cool in the past. I mean, that armor's great. This guy looks really good. That longer Stormcast body, I'm assuming. I don't know if they're actually taller or they're just... They look like they have more length to their limbs and stuff. Is really, really nice. This model's incredible. And previously the banners usually had some pretty cool effects for Stormcast, so I think you're going to want this guy. These guys, maybe you want them if they actually are bodyguards that do some pretty good fighting. But if you're literally taking like a 160 point, 180 point unit just to give a chance to, say, absorb 9 wounds off a character, a lot of times that's not really worth it. These guys, when you see all 3 of them, they look very, very similar. They're very chunky. They're very wide. Got kind of a square shape to them. They are cool. Their shields are cool. Their build is cool. But, yeah, I don't know. They're kind of like the Centurions of Space Marines, I guess. Or Terminators. Thunderhammer, Storm Shield Terminators. Yeah. Shoulder pads sort of cover their head, too, from side strikes, I guess. I think they're great. Not my favorites. These guys are my favorites. Except for, like, that pose is okay. That one's a little odd. I think she's, like, yelling, like, charge. But these ones that are in these kind of fighting poses are great. This guy's head with the cornrows, or the braids, is just awesome. Bald guy. I'm a bald guy with a beard, so love that guy. He's getting a red beard when I paint him. If I play the army, for sure. Yeah, just wonderful, wonderful. We've seen a lot of these. So the Kruleboyz. So, they got what I want to call toddler body. They have sort of in proportion to their upper body, and then they have a different proportion to their lower body, which is little toddler legs. I think this model is awesome. Okay, first off, I think the model is great. The hyena is awesome. The extra details, I mean, he's covered in details. If you hate painting chaos trim, you're going to hate painting these guys. Although you could probably knock out all the metals at once and then just pick out all the leathers and then pick out the skins, and it wouldn't be too bad. But you can see here, if you really want to go to town, there's a lot of details to pick out. But he has little toddler legs. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. This model's great. He's huge too. If you scroll back up, we have quite a bit of a scroll. I mean, he's big. Like, that's a little Stormcast lady on a staircase, and her stairs aren't even as high, really, as his mount. So, he's a big, big model. I don't know if you need 2 in an army, so I don't know if you need to double up on your box set. But if you want the Kruleboyz, you're going to get a lot of your troops covered if you trade your Stormcast with somebody. Get double Kruls. Double toddlers. This guy's great. He's like a Nurgle orc wizard. He's got a lot of kind of Nurgle-y swamp vibes. I kind of wish he had some of that tiki savage orc feel to him. I love the tiki look, but I know they're trying to do something different with these. But he's got a pet, Potgrat, Gargant Skull, awesome. Great paint job, really cool. All kinds of trinkets to paint, dumping out an old ashtray. Wonderful. And he doesn't, you can't tell he has the toddler body because he's got the robes. But you can definitely tell this guy has a toddler body. It's odd. I don't like it very much. These guys are supposed to be the sneaky, fast, like, cunning swamp orcs. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So here's how I would have changed this. I think if they shortened up their upper body or their torso and had long legs, they would look really creepy. And long legs would give me the impression that they could wade through, like, waist-high swamp water. But when you have toddler legs, swamp water is up to your nips, and this guy's drowning in the swamp. So, he's really cool, though. But yeah, that's it. Like, I think they messed up here. The length from his, say, collarbones to his hip bones is longer than his hip to his feet. Now, it might just be the angle that accentuates the toddler body, but he's got toddler body. It's like Deadpool when he loses his legs and he's got the little kid legs. Yeah, I don't think they make or break the model. I think they're still cool, and having the weird proportions makes them very creepy. They definitely have kind of less of a cartoony feel and more of a creepy horror movie kind of feel, in my opinion. So I think they're still good, But like I said, I think long legs, leaner or shorter torso would have been the way to go to wade through swamp waters and whatever they're doing. This guy's really good. The banners for both of them are just incredible. And the paint job on this banner, like the textures on the rotting heads and the tongue. This guy looks like the clown guy from House of a Thousand Corpses. And this guy, I heard, looks like Vince Venturella from Warhammer Weekly, people were saying. So that's really funny. This guy's got a really good face. He doesn't have the cartoon face. He has like a horror movie kind of ghoul orc face, which is what really makes these look appealing. And he's not as obvious with his short legs. He looks like his legs might actually even be a little longer. These guys are wonderful, covered in stuff. I mean, painting these, there's just so much stuff on them. So many straps, different metal plates, trinkets. They're collecting all their, lucky things, I guess, in the swamps or off bodies they kill. Super cool to have sort of your long raptor strike orcs with the super crossbows killing. I mean, in the video, they straight up kill the general of that Stormcast army. So, these are going to do some mortal wounds or hit hard. A welcome thing to the orcs. These guys, some of them, like this guy looks correct to me. This guy looks like kind of little leg here. Maybe they float in the water, so their legs have like, entropy or whatever, where the muscles are not being used, so they're smaller because they're floating around in the swamp. They're great looking horror, sort of realistic orcs, if you could say that. Like if you painted these in a flesh tone with just a hint of green, they would look like some really creepy human types. And these guys still have the short leg. I mean, if you look at his shoulder here to hip and then hip to foot, it seems like this distance is longer, and that's odd to me. Still, though, they don't make or break the models. They look cool. I really like the big splash of color on these really detailed shields that they gave them. And they were saying, like, they designed the shields to look like themselves. So, like, this guy has an eye patch, and he gave his shield an eye patch, which is cool. These guys are kind of Oompa Loompa bodies. Like, they're kind of in proportion, but they got kind of the dad bod. But they're buff. Kind of like little Gargant bodies. That's what they got. Little Gargants. This is a hook hand. Obviously, Vampirates confirmed. They got grenades, which is fun. And they, I guess, trade with the Chaos Dwarves. These look like dwarf runes, maybe. They trade with the Chaos Dwarves. The Chaos Dwarves give them grenades. And I don't know what they give them back. But everybody's saying Chaos Dwarves confirmed. Here you go. If you want to convert one of these guys to look like Chucky, or all of them to look like Chucky, all you got to do is paint these like blue jean overalls and you're good to go. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but these red ropes could be made out of Chaos Dwarf beards or pubes. So that's what they're wearing. It's confirmed. So that's super fun. You get the super cool, special, gigantic rule book. Always good. Makes the box deals even better because they charge so much money for books. This could also be breaking news, the edition where there's no more digital copies of the books. And they go to like that code format that they're doing in 40K. They're selling out of a lot of codexes, so it's very possible that they continue that over. You got the War Scroll cards. Moving on. This character, awesome archer, adjudicator character, great model. A lot of Gryph-hounds. They're really going heavy on a lot of Gryph-hounds now. This thing, super generic. It looks great as like Greeks or Romans or whatever, I don't know, Egyptians riding a generic chariot with the most generic front plate, the most generic wheels, no scythes. The Gryph-hounds here, they're strapped in, okay. But they don't have reins to the back. They were saying something like, they're so in tune, they don't need the reins to hold on, which is fine. Nobody wants to paint all those straps. So, in general, this is like a classic, cool chariot model. If it has fun rules, I mean, they'll be fun to play, but if it's like one Judicator shot and 3 swings with a, Rend 1 damage axe, whatever, like, they've failed miserably on doing Chariots in AOS, so let's see, maybe they'll get it right. I think they could have went, if they were doing a Chariot, I think they should have went with a Stormcast, a War Altar Chariot, like a War Wagon or a Luminarch or a, what's the other one called? Oh man, Luminarch and, the Heavens thing with the planetarium on it. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think they should have went, if they were going to do a War Machine Chariot, I would have rather seen it as like a big centerpiece monster chariot ran by like 2 Dracolines or 4 Gryph-hounds. We could still get one. This could just be the little version of a bigger hero one, and that hero could make these battle line or something like that. So we'll see. I'd like to see a bigger, more elaborate, crazy chariot with like a Stormcast laser lightning cannon on it. Something like that. You got the Ballista, Orc Ballista, traditional. If you haven't noticed by now, the Kruleboyz have replaced the old kind of orcs and goblins. These guys have the feel that you're going to be running both orcs and goblins. A lot of the bases have both orcs and goblins on them. In Warhammer Fantasy, you used to have a lot of orcs. You could have a few goblin units. Goblins ran the war machines, and you would put an orc bully by them to make them do it better. I think this is pretty much replacing all that kind of orc and goblin vibe. Super cool looking ballista. It's probably going to be $55, which is absurd. So, yeah, be warned, it's going to be really expensive, because I think that little Lumineth ballista is pretty overpriced. And this guy I love. It looks like they already went away from the... This guy's on a Troggoth, right? So he's the break-a boss on Mire Brute Troggoth. So there's potentially a new unit of Troggoths coming, Mire Brutes, to go with the swamp ones and the rock ones. But this troll, or Troggoth, the other ones have that Warhammery, cartoony feel. Like they've got cows slung over their shoulders. They got really goofy, characterful faces. This guy's got more of that horror movie kind of troll feel. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but Cursed City, a lot of the models had more of that kind of realism, horror kind of look to them, and not the kind of caricature, fantasy, cartoony look. And I feel like this army specifically is leaning more into that, the more realism. And then the paint job on top of that, they gave him these subtle shifts in skin tone on his knees and elbows, where like blood's probably flowing under the skin, the nip, the exposed nip, +1 save. He's got the blood flowing in his nose and whatnot. Pillow on his back so he doesn't hurt himself from the stick that this guy's standing on. Yeah, so super great looking troll. Be very interesting if there's some new troll builds coming for more trolls. I mean, everybody wants to see a troll army for sure. Now, a few extra thoughts. There are going to be Wolf Riders coming. The big boss on the hyena, let's get back to him. So there'll be a unit either with the Kruleboyz on them. Actually, there's probably going to be a unit of Kruleboyz on something like this. And then probably a unit of goblins on wolves, or something like a wolf or a smaller version of this. This is sort of like a hyena. Like a super horror movie hyena. Like, this thing's not cartoonish at all. This is painted to like a realism with, really kind of intricate flesh tones, branding in the skin. It's got a gross looking kind of, ferocious mouth, not like a cartoon smile mouth. So yeah, I mean, really cool. You're going to get some cav units for this. Maybe another big monster. I don't know if the Troll Rider guy is the only monster. And then with Stormcast, you're going to get the Drake Cavalry, which everybody's saying is going to be kind of reminiscent of the Bretonnian Knight Pegasus Cavalry. So are they going to be... Well, we did see the keyword Drake on Kragnos's War Scroll. So we're probably going to be on Little Flying Dragons. I kind of would have liked to see them on Little Flying Taurolines, or Taurolines from the Stormcast as well. But we're going to get some more. We might get another big thing too. Maybe we'll get maybe we'll get like the big war machine. We already got a dragon. We got a Celestant Prime. She's sort of a Celestant Prime, although she looks smaller. So yeah, we could see maybe another centerpiece for the Stormcast. Then a few other things. When they say you're getting more command points when you go second, and you get to activate in all the phases of your opponent's turn, what that sounds like to me is stratagems have been confirmed. Does that not sound like stratagems to you? Stratagems are what you use in Warhammer 40k with your CP, command points, to interact and buff units, to overwatch with units, to emergency disembark. You know, they're talking about stand and shoot, flee, all these different charge reactions. Then they're talking about being able to interact in every phase with your command points. That sounds like stratagems. I don't know if they're going to get them, maybe just a few for each new army, and then a big swath of generic ones, which wouldn't be too bad, because at least that way they could try to balance them a bit better, unless every army's going to get like 40 of them like they have in 40k. What do you think on that? I'm thinking kind of stratagem vibe. Are you getting stratagem vibes? Let me know. Which one's your favorite model? A lot of these Kruleboyz characters are fantastic, even if they have little toddler legs. I think both banner bearers are top-notch. The monster guy is great. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I really have a single model I don't like. There's certainly ones I don't necessarily want to collect. Like, I don't want to paint 40 of these at all. I don't even think I want to paint any of them. But if I had... where is he? Where is he? If I had a unit of these hyenas, a couple units of these hyenas, maybe some monster, this guy, a couple units of them, a couple units of wolf riders or something, maybe a flying monster, or if you could like ally in a maw crusher or something. Yeah, I could see that. Or I'm going to do the cavalry Stormcast army, which means I don't need a ton of these guys, but I will probably have double since I'll trade my Kruleboyz, I believe. Let me know what your plan is. Definitely plan on pre-ordering like within 10 minutes or less of when it goes live. This is probably going to sell out super fast. So there you go. Stormcast versus the Chuckies. Kruleboyz. Nobody's a crueler boy than Chucky. Watch the movies. He's super cruel, and he's a tiny little doll. So there you go. Please subscribe. I got a bunch of AdMech videos coming, and I'm super hyped on AOS 3. So good time to be in the hobby. Check out Ghost paintbrushes if you like. White synthetic paintbrushes. Try the original all-white synthetic paintbrushes. Ghost brushes. Just link in the description. I created them years ago. So would appreciate the support. I'm just a one-man band. And I appreciate all the support from my friends and subscribers. So please subscribe. See you in the comments.